One tech stock that has certainly led the market higher, or at least the NASDAQ, is Netflix. It's up more than 100% since the start of the year, down a little bit, and actually can go down. What does the second half hold for this company stock? Well, joining us now is Brian White, Global Head of Internet Software Equity Research at Moness, Crespi and Hardt. You've liked it, rightly so, and continue to, I would assume, for the second half. With this kind of a move, though, in the stock price, is most of the juice sort of out of it for the rest of the year?
Well, it's been a rocket, and I think this can continue. So stock's up 100% a year to date. It's actually the second best performer in our group, so it's not number one. But I think the market is starting to look at Netflix through a different lens, and they're really seeing a couple things. Number one, the globalization initiative is really starting to pay off. So a couple years ago, they made this push, and you're starting to see it in the numbers with 70% international growth last quarter. And they can push through price hikes. You've had a couple great subscriber numbers after price hikes in late last year.
Yeah. When I think about the future for the company, I mean, Disney, if they succeed in getting Fox, or even if they aren't, coming after them to a certain extent. Our parent company, Comcast, I mean, any number of other large entertainment companies are so focused on Netflix, so focused on coming up with their own direct-to-consumer that is going to work and resonate and keep content from their platform. Is that a threat?
You know, you're always going to have competition, and these are all great competitors. I just feel like Netflix has this brand, and people want to work with it. That's all they do, so they can focus on it. They're spending up to $8 billion on content this year. And one of the interesting things I've noticed is taking local content developed overseas and bringing it back to the U.S. with either voiceovers or subtitles, and doing the opposite from the U.S. overseas.
I recommended Fauda to you last week.
Yeah, I'm going to get on it.
It's very good.
I will.
Brian, you mentioned that investors are looking at this stock as a globalization story now. That's the new narrative at a time where globalization has increasing risks. I mean, I'm not saying that Netflix is really in the crosshairs of a trade war, but we did see some bad days related to trade, sell-offs on Wall Street, where Netflix did get hit.
Right.
So how exposed is it? I mean, if other countries start looking at American brands and want to retaliate?
You know, I think the biggest issue would potentially be China, where Netflix isn't really there, right? So they're not in China. I mean, there are ways to watch Netflix, but it's not officially in China. I would say a lot of these tech stocks just hit black ice. That's really what you've seen, right? And so we've seen this in 2016. We saw it in 2014. Stocks sell off because there's a rotation, nothing more than that.
And that's what I wanted to ask about. What is Netflix's kryptonite? I mean, this seems like one of those belief stocks, kind of like anything connected to Elon Musk. Is there a certain combination of events or sentiments that tends to take down a stock like Netflix that investors should watch out for?
Well, I think anytime, I mean, it's really been strong. So even as our group has gotten hit on this black ice the last 3 weeks, Netflix 3 weeks ago is up 9% on a week where there was actually a lot of bad news. Net neutrality rolled off. There was a big media merger. The following week, it went up 5%. It was really last week it went down 5%. So I think as long as they continue to put up good subscriber numbers, that's really the key to the story. I don't think the tough trade talk will have an impact on Netflix fundamentally.
It was also the last week of the quarter, so some rebalancing.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.